Crabs, am I right? So a couple days ago, I put up a video about crab champions, and it was just a quick little like 9-10 minute video, kind of just talking about the game, kind of just about how like I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun, yada yada yada. I've gone in too deep. Okay, I need help. I just finished a run that I went up to Island 300, and just to show just how chaotic this game really can get, depending on like what perks you get and all that stuff. I'm gonna show you some footage that I took of that run that took me to Island 300, and then I'll explain why I stopped at Island 300 as well. But first, let's talk about that footage. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this game. That one island right there that you just saw me clear, Island 252, that's just the start of the wacky stuff you're about to witness. I have some ridiculous perks. For example, I have level up perks that just basically give me this many choices from chests. And as you can see, most of them are options to upgrade, like, pre-existing perks. So this perk right here, level up. Random mods and perks are upgraded to the next level after clearing every third island. This perk is ridiculous. So this is a screenshot of my inventory at the end of the 300 island run. So as you can see, that perk level up is level 27, which means that 27 randomly picked perks and mods from my inventory would be upgraded by one level at every third island. And that's really how this run turned into what it was. It's just that, like, I had so many of these perks and mods, like, up to crazy high levels. I'm pretty sure I got a certain mod up to, like, level 40, I think. It's just ridiculous. And then you take into account the amount of perks and mods I would get from chests and how most of them were upgrades. And as you can see here, I could just clear out everything. Like, that was all just grenades. I had like 40 to 50 grenades, and I could just throw them all out all at once, and they would just do these huge blast radius and just destroy everything that would come into the blast radius. As you're seeing in this footage, like, I literally had over 1 trillion crystals, so whenever I would get to shops, I could just buy out the entire shop. Also, along with buying out the entire shop, I had perks that would give me more options in the shop. So basically what I would do is I would get into the shop. I could just buy out the entire row of items in the shop. Once I buy all the ones that I could buy, which was, again, mostly just upgrades to what I already had, then I could go back over and re-roll the entire shop again and buy out everything again. I had that much. And the amount of items that would pop up in my shop was ridiculous. And I would just keep re-rolling until I could no longer re-roll again, which is usually a random amount of times every time. It's stupid. It's so stupid, but I love it. And all of this, all these upgraded perks and all this stuff, I'll show you some screenshots of some of these ridiculous perks I had, because I had some. Oh my word. Rare treasure. Enemies have a small chance to drop loot when eliminated. I got this one up to 25, which gave a 25% chance to drop loot from eliminated enemies, which, honestly, that one triggered more often than you would actually think. This one here, double vision, level 32. This, at level 32, and I believe starting at level 30, it gives you a 100% chance to get an additional reward chest after clearing each island. This means that a single chest island gives you 2 chests instead, but if you were to complete a double chest island, you would get 3 chests. So faulty chests, level 21. Whenever you get a chest, you're given your options, and typically you pick one of them and then the other options go away. This would give you a chance for your unchosen loot from your chest to not disappear, so that means you could just keep picking out of it. At level 21, 89% chance. I wish it had gotten up to 100. That would have been absolutely busted because you could take everything from the chest. This perk right here is, I think, what made this run so ridiculous, because this is regenerating armor. Regenerating armor is a insane perk, especially whenever it's leveled up. There's a specific type of loot called armor. What it does, it gives you these little blue bars above your health bar, and those are armor plates that when you take damage, those deplete before your health. So with this perk, you gain armor plates at the start of each island. I got this up to level 62, which means at the start of every island, it just completely filled up my armor plate bar. And armor plates, especially whenever you have a full bar of armor plates, they, like, holy cow, when your health never gets touched. Your health bar will never get touched, especially when it's regenerating at the start of every single island. You become unkillable with this perk, especially once you get it above, like, level 6 and higher. So combine the fact that I was basically unkillable, and then I had so many weapon mods that were just continued to upgrade my attack at the end of every island. I had tons of extra projectiles firing with my shots. Like, as you can see in this footage, I am just a killing machine, but I'm also completely unkillable. Watch how quickly I take out this elite enemy. I don't think the word overpowered really does this justice. So now I'd like to explain, why did I stop at Island 300, right? If I have all these crazy perks that are just making me stronger and stronger and stronger as I continue to move forward, why would I stop that? Why would I say, you know what, 300 is enough, I don't think I want to go farther. I could have kept going, and I probably could have gotten to crazy high island count. So explanation, by the way, this game, like I said last time, is in early access, and I believe it's honestly just being made by one person. And well, this guy is keeping the game up to date. He actually just released an update pretty much yesterday with some different bug fixes and balance changes and things like that. But with any game that's being developed by one person and as early access, it's still a very recent game, there are prone to be some bugs or some features that may be less than ideal. So I was playing with a friend the other day, and I was in the middle of this run. I was back at Island 120 whenever this happened, and we were like, hey, so let's play for a little bit, but let's start on a new run and start fresh. I was like, I told her, I will join you so that you don't have to join me and, you know, get in the middle of my crazy high run. We'll start a fresh run by joining you, because I figured that's probably the way it works. We probably, as long as they don't join me and I start a fresh run, it won't delete my thing. And as long as I join her and she starts a new run, it'll be fresh on her save, all that stuff. But she was in the middle of her own run, but she wasn't too terribly far. So I was like, you know, she was maybe like Island 8. So I was like, all right, I'll just join you in the middle of your run that you're continuing. So she goes, she presses on continue run instead of, you know, start new run. And we load up into Island 120-ish. So yeah, apparently it brought up my run as her saved run for some reason, and that was kind of confusing. So that kind of, you know, the fact that, like, if I go in and join a friend and we want to be like, hey, you should join me in the middle of my run and help me out, where I'm not too far into it and it's early enough that you can get plenty of upgrades. Like, all right, cool. That's great. And then it loads up my run instead of theirs. Like, that isn't how it should work. I mean, I could be corrected if I'm wrong, but I figured that the way it should work is that if you have a saved run, it should not be overwritten by somebody else's. It should be your personal saved run. So I don't know if there's just like a bug going on there, or if that is the intention, that it always just defaults to the run of whoever's farthest, which to me, I think that's kind of dumb if that's the case. Like, I don't get me wrong, I think the developer of the game's doing a great job with this game, but if that's the intention, I think that should be changed. I'd like to recommend that is a change that happens, because this game is a lot of fun in multiplayer, and I would hate to have to come and join a friend and overwrite their run that may have been, you know, whether it's be a new run or if it be like a run that they were working on. Like, let's say I'm at a higher island than somebody else on my run, and they've been working on a really good run, and they're like, hey, you should join me and help me out. Like, I can give you some perks so that you're not, under leveled and stuff like that. And then I come in and I just absolutely butcher their run with a higher run. Like, yeah, my run might be higher, but that person was working really hard on their run. I don't want to overwrite their stuff. So you have that, but also I was starting to get a little bored of this crazy high island run. Like, it was nice to be able to get as far as I did and to have a win under my belt that was 300 islands long. But one of the things that's really nice about games like this, like roguelike type of games, is that every run is very different. What I was finding was that this run was going on for like 5 hours of playtime, right? And I was just like, it was the same thing over and over and over and over again. I clear island, I get a bunch of upgrades to my perks, I go to the next island, clear it, get a bunch of upgrades to my perks. And so, it was like, it's just getting kind of boring. And I like to have that kind of variety of like every run is different. It just felt like I was popping on, doing the same thing for like an hour and then getting off. And that was it. Now, I do understand that whole element of clearing out a level, getting your upgrades, moving on, like that pretty much is just the core formula of any roguelike game. I do understand that. But when this was just me, single player, all by myself, just monotonously clearing out islands, getting upgrades, moving on. Yeah, it was like, I'll just take the big win and get going, Besides, again, this is a lot more fun in multiplayer than it is single. Just to do goofy, dumb crap with your friends. And so that combined with the whole, overwriting other people's runs type of deal, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stop at Island 300. I'm going to take that huge win. Oh, by the way, really quick suggestion when it comes to the whole multiplayer thing and like overwriting, it would be really nice to have a separate like run just for multiplayer. Basically what I mean is I can have a single player run saved and then I can have a second run saved that I might want to keep just for multiplayer. Basically making it so that I have multiple run saves instead of just, start a run, that one saves when you leave it. When you want to go back to that run, you can, but if you want to start a new run, it overwrites the old one. It would be nice to have multiple run saves. I know the game is new, again, early access, all that. Maybe that's a feature that will be coming down the road, but I'm still just making a note of that would be a really nice addition to the game. All in all, I did have a lot of fun with this run. It's a lot of fun to just slide around, jump around, and just hold down left click and just watch the show. It really is fun to do. But at the same time, I think I get more enjoyment out of doing, all these more like subsequent smaller runs alongside my friends. This was a really fun video to make, just to be able to talk about the craziness that I went through in this run and everything that I saw, especially just seeing all these perks get just random, really, really good perks just get upgraded just because I have a perk that does that. And seeing the amount of stuff I would get from chests and all the different drops from enemies and just the amount of craziness in this run as a whole, it leaves me speechless. Once again, as I said in the last video, go check out Crab Champions for yourself. It is really fun, especially if you got some friends to play with. Even in single player, it still can be a lot of fun just to pick up and play for an hour or two and then, come back to it every once in a while. I mean, again, it's cheap. It's like $10. And honestly, for $10, you get a lot to mess around with in this game. Make the outro for this one a little short. Once again, this has been another video from me, Jash. If you're interested in watching more videos, make sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications for when I upload. Feel free to join the Discord server if you'd like. Just like last time, link to that server is down in the description. I will see you all in the next one. Jash out.